What is the definition of circle? It's a circle. Circle is a locus of all point equidistant from a given point, which is a center. And in the coordinate plane, we're going to write it as h and k. That's what we need to use to write an equation. So locus means it's a set of points. So again, what a circle is, from a center, it's a set of points that is equidistant from this point. You see how if you put all the points that is equidistant, which will be r distant, you see how you get a circle? That's the definition of circle. Then how do you write an equation of a circle? It's going to be always x minus h, which is the x coordinate of a center, close parentheses square, plus y minus y coordinate of a center, close parentheses square, equals to, guess what r stands for? Radius. But it's not just equals to radius, it's radius squared. A lot of you think whatever you see on the right hand side of the equation is radius. No, it's r squared. Okay? So why? If you have this in a coordinate plane, as you can see, you can draw a triangle. And here, you can put your x comma y. And you can draw a right triangle. And you see how this is x squared, y squared equals to radius squared, Pythagorean theorem. That's what exactly is. But x minus h will be the distance from the center to your new x squared plus the distance from your center to your y, which is this. And then that will equal to r squared. Okay? Let's try with some example questions. So next page. Center is we are going to call it h and k. So let's first go ahead and draw it, graph it, and then write an equation of a circle. So where is your center at? 0, 0, which can be the easiest problem for a circle. And what's the radius? 3. That means what? You go 3, right, left, up, and down. So those 4 points, you have to give me exact values because it exactly fits on these coordinate plane. But the other points, you can just try your best to draw them, connect them, and draw a circle. It could be easier if you just draw an arc from one to the other and draw 4 arcs and make it as a whole circle. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you draw something like this, which is closer to a square, that's not acceptable. Try your best to draw a circle. So just draw arc, 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 if that's easier for you. Okay. And how do you write an equation of a circle? Remember, it was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So x is x. What is h? X coordinate of your circle is 0 squared plus y minus. What is coordinate of y coordinate of your center? 0 squared equals to, what was the radius? 3 squared. Now you simplify. What is x minus 0? X squared. What is y minus 0? Y squared. What is 3 squared? 9. This is your final equation of a circle. Do not just leave 3 squared. You have to evaluate it. Okay? Let's try a few more. Let's skip 2 and try number 3. This time, you start off of a center at -2 and 3. So graph it first. Here's -2 and 3. Here's your center. And what's the radius? So 4 point, it has to be exact. Go 2 to the right, left, up and down, and then the rest of the points, just try your best to draw a circle. Now, let's write an equation. It is x minus h. What is h? -2. K is 3. So what is x minus -2? We're going to simplify that later. And you square the whole thing, not just -2. Plus y minus k, which is 3 squared equals to, what was the radius? 2. So you put 2 squared. Now let's simplify. What's x minus -2? X plus 2. So as you can see, just like the equation of a parabola, remember, or vertex form, whenever it's at -2, it's opposite, it's plus 2. So same thing, if you have -2, it becomes plus 2. And y minus 3, if it's positive, it becomes -3 squared equals 2, 4. Okay. Should we do one more? Any questions? Let's try number 4. You start off of the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's your center, 7, 4. Radius is 3, 3, 3, 3. Go around. Now, write an equation. It is, what's your x minus 7 squared plus y minus what? 4 squared equals to 3 squared, which is 9. Okay. Now let's skip to page 12. Number 1, a given circle has the equation x squared plus y squared equals to 5 squared. Is the point -5, 0 on the graph? What about the other 2 points? How would you describe all points located on the graph? So there are 2 ways to do it. First is graph it and see whether it's on the circle or not. But you will only know about 4 points, right? You only get to find 4 exact points by graphing. So what I mean by that is, where is our center from this equation? 0, 0. Do you see nothing got subtracted from x and y? So your center is 0, 0. And what's the radius? 5. So let's go ahead and graph it. So 0, 0 is the center. You go 5, 5, 5, 5. So here's your circle. So you only know exactly 4 points, right? The other points, we are not sure about it. So if they give you one of these 4 points, you can say yes or no by looking at the graph. But the other ones, you have to use a different method. So the first one was what? -5, 0. Is it on the circle? That's one you can say yes just by looking at the graph. What about 4.899, -1, which is somewhere here? How do we know when y is -1, y is -1, x is 4.899? We can't tell by just looking at it, but what can we do? Yes, you can plug into the equation, and if it's true, that means it's on the circle, right? So here's your x and y. So what do we have? We have 4.899 squared plus y, which is -1 squared. Is that equal to 5 squared, which is 25? If it's yes, then it is on the circle. If it's no, then it's not on the circle. Okay? So what do we get? Yeah, I had to plug into the calculator too. So I get 4.899 squared plus, guys, what is negative 1 squared? Can I just put negative 1 squared? No, negative 1 squared is negative 1. You have to put parentheses square, which is 1. Because here, they do the exponent first, which is 1, and they multiply 1 at the end. So make sure you either put parentheses or negative square always becomes what? Positive, so I just do 1 squared because I know negative 1 squared will be same as 1 squared. You can do that for Pythagorean theorem as well. So is that equal to 25? Let's just round it to the second, then you get 25. So I will say it was 25.00, which is equal to 25. So yes, this one was also on the circle. Okay. What about the last one? It's negative 3 squared plus negative 4 squared equals to 25. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. Is it equal to 25? It's 3, 4, 5, guys. 3, 4, 5. You remember Pythagorean theorem? So it is yes. So they were all on the circle. Questions? Let's try more. Number 2. Determine whether each of the following points would fall inside or outside of the graph of x squared plus y squared equals to 25. And how do you know? So now it's not just asking whether it is true or false, but is it inside or outside? Again, there are a few points that you can know for sure just by looking at the graph. Let's graph it first. So this one again is 0, 0. And the radius is 5. Same circle actually, right? So again, if it's obvious, it's really obvious by looking at it. And if you have a point here, can you just say it's outside? Yes. If it's over here, can you say it is inside without showing any work? Yes. But what if it's close to these points? Then you have to show it algebraically using the equation. So let's see. What's the first one? 4 and negative 4. What do you guys think? It's outside. What about 1.5, comma 1.5? Here. Do you have to show work or is it obvious? It's obvious. So it is inside. What about 5 and 1? It must be 5, 0. And if it's 5, 1, then we know it is outside. You guys see it? Since we have 5, 0, and it closes the circle, so we know it is outside. What about 0.9, which is close to 1, and negative 4.5? It's somewhere here, right? Can you just take a guess? No, it cannot. It's somewhere here. It looks like it's right on the circle. So then what you need to do is compare the radius. If these two squared added, 0.9 squared plus negative 4.5 squared is greater than 25, that means what? It has a greater radius, so it's outside. If it's less than 25, then it's inside. If it's equal to, then it's on the circle. So what do you get? What is 0.9 squared plus, again, I'll just do 4.5 squared. If you want to put negative, make sure you put parentheses around. That is 21.06. And it is less than 25, meaning this circle, this point, has a less distance, less radius. Therefore, it is what? Inside the circle. Okay. Number 3. So here, we're just checking whether this equation represents that circle. What would you do first? Find the center and radius of the circle. So here, the total distance, which is the diameter, is 9 plus 3, 12. So what's the radius? 6. So you go up 6. Right? And right 6, left 6 to draw the circle. So by doing that, we can find the center, which is 0, negative 3. So with that point and the radius given, is that the right equation? X minus 0 is x plus y minus negative 3 is plus 3 squared equals to 6 squared, which is 36. So this was a right equation. Okay. Let's do a few more. So here, now they're giving you an equation. We are going to graph and find the center and find the radius. For number 2, they gave you the graph and you have to find the rest. Okay? I'll give you guys, let's do number 1 together, and number 2, I'm going to ask some of you to come up and do it for us, okay? So what is the center? Positive 3, negative 2. Remember, it's minus that number, so it's opposite. What's the radius? 3, not 9. Common mistake. A lot of you will write just 9 for the radius. So how do I graph it? 3, negative 2, 3, 3, 3,